A very good afternoon and welcome everybody to Monday Motivation with Eugene Wood and myself, Sunil Osman. We do this every single Monday live on TikTok between 3:30 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. Standard South African time. If you've missed any of our topics, you can go check out Influencer SA on YouTube and IGTV. Thank you for joining us. Eugene, what are we speaking about today?
Today we are talking about the tried old theory of education versus experience. So, which side of the fence do you fit on?
Experience versus education, education versus experience. We'll be right back straight after this. Welcome back, everybody, to Monday Motivation with Eugene Wood and myself, Sunil Osman. Today's topic is experience versus education or education versus experience. Now, Eugene, to start off, I think it's very important that we define the difference between education and experience. And if we go ahead and do a nice little Google search, what you will find is that education has got many different definitions, but it comes down to one main thing. It is knowledge through academia. And then you look at experience, the definition of experience, also lots of different definitions, but the main one is about acquired knowledge. So experience is about acquired knowledge, and then education is about knowledge through academia. What do you have to say?
Definitely. No, definitely. This is it. Like the school system, education, what did they teach us? And when we finally leave there, then the experience that we gain in the real world, which one is more valuable in your opinion? I'd love to hear actually in the comments. Leave a comment, let us know which one you think is more valuable in the long run. But yeah, today everything we do, we get told you need to learn. Yes, you need to learn, but how important is actual experience? I'll give an example. Then, when I was in the UK, had the knowledge from finishing college and stuff, and then going overseas, just being told, well, you can't get a job without experience. But how do I get a job without experience if I can't get a job?
Yes.
So, let's see. Today we have 5 reasons why experience matters. So yeah, it's going to be quite an interesting topic, this.
Yeah, before we get to the 5 reasons why experience matters, I mean, you speak about, the lack of experience versus education. And let's be honest, academia is great. We're not saying don't go and study. We are not saying that at all. But academia does not prepare you for a job situation. It's important to have education early in your career, and you must keep learning. You must keep learning. And education can also give you a specialized knowledge. And I'm going to give an example here. There was a gentleman I knew a very long time ago. And Eugene and I try and relate every single topic we do to life, love, and business. And in this situation, I'm going to speak about love. I won't mention his name in case he pops in here randomly, suddenly. He studied relationships. He studied how to approach a woman. He studied how to approach love, which is all good. It's good to understand how everybody has a different love language and how people respond to things. When it came to the dating scene and actually going out and doing it practically is where he failed. So you have to find that balance. You have to have that experience as well. And there is a quote in my book, Sunny Motive, that says that one thing that nobody, absolutely nobody can take away from you. They can take your car, they can take your house, they can take your job, they can take your beard. But what they cannot take away from you is your experience.
Definitely.
What you cannot allow is experience to make you have the wrong impression on what you're going into. So, again, like the example given, that individual that was studying love, going through relationship manuals, trying to understand the difference between different love languages, when it came to actually being in the relationship, he had to still gain that experience to take him further. So, the question before we get to the 5 reasons why experience matters: does your past experience count for more? And again, Eugene and I are not saying don't go and study. We are saying that it is important, but experience does matter. So, do you have anything else to say, Eugene? Yeah?
Experience does matter, but like one of the comments says, yeah, is knowledge is power. Yes, knowledge is power. That's quite an old saying. Like I've mentioned this a few times before. Knowledge is potential power. How you use that knowledge, that's what counts. But
Yes.
yes, with the 5 reasons why experience matters and why what we're about to discuss today, we're going to shine a light on both. So it's going to be quite an interesting topic. So with the 5 reasons why experience matters, Sunil, do you want to start us off there?
Yes, Eugene, thank you for the honor of starting off. Point number 1 of the 5 reasons why experience matters. And this information has been gathered with extensive research by Eugene and myself. And it was found on LinkedIn, a very good article about experience, concept versus application. You can study a concept until you're blue in the face, but how do you apply it?
100%. 100%. That's the thing though. Like like you mentioned now in your example of love, that guy went and got all that knowledge, but then in the real world you're like, oh, same thing with school. School, okay, so the school system has changed. What kids are studying now is quite advanced, especially at a younger age. I get that, but it's still teaching you certain skill set, okay? And that skill set isn't necessarily going to benefit you once you leave. That's why obviously you go in further education and go and learn more in a subject that you have interest in. But then, like my example earlier, you try and get the experience, and a lot of places are like, no, sorry, you need experience. But how am
Yes,
I meant to get experience without getting experience?
yes,
Like I speak to a lot of people now, and they say, "Oh, I'm going to go study for 4 years." I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, why? Like, why not? Instead of spending all this money every year to go and study a university degree, why not study all these little courses and stuff on the internet to go and get experience for the next 4 years, so that by the time your colleagues and your peers have left, that you've got 4 years experience. So
yes.
while they're getting the concept and all this knowledge and stuff, you're actually getting experience while you're getting knowledge.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Concept versus application, so important. Point number
Hmm.
2, Eugene.
Getting to know yourself. This is important.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with this. And when you go out and want to get to know yourself, it's so important to understand who you are and what you actually want to do. An example of this is when people go and study, they go and study something and they do something completely different with their life. Completely different with their life. It's because you start realizing what you want. And again, Eugene and I, we try and apply this to life, love, and business. So here we go again. Here's another great example. You think you know what you want in a relationship until you get experience of what you thought you want. And then you actually find out, okay, I need to leave this comfort zone, adjust certain things in my life. And in order to do that, I need to apply certain experiences from the past so I can better my own relationship, so I can get to know myself. Know thyself is point number 2.
Point number
And
3.
point number 3, right? Point number 3: workplace reality versus real experience.
Sure. This brings us to the meat of the subject, yeah. Workplace reality versus real experience. Like, cool, your workplace is going to teach you stuff. You're going to be involved with other people, and everyone's going to have their way of doing it and stuff like that. But your experience, and you know that saying, like when your mom goes, "Don't touch that, that's hot," but you touch it anyway, and you're like, "Oh, that's hot." You've just learned something. That real world experience teaches you so much more than someone going, "Well, this is what you need to do, and this is okay, and then you do this." You're not, unless you're actually going out there and you're applying a lot of the knowledge that you've gained in your real world experience, which will take you further in your job. But I don't really like job. I'd rather work for myself. But yes, workplace reality. So the concept of what you will learn from here and what you will actually learn when you're doing it for yourself. Because when you do it for yourself, you give that much more effort.
Yes. Now, I like the way you say that when you're doing it for yourself, you do that much more effort. And even though Eugene says he prefers to work for himself, there are many people out there who would rather work for a boss. And that's okay. As long as you're still enjoying it and still doing it for yourself, because at the end of the day, you're still gaining that experience. And if you are continuously learning, like we spoke about earlier, when you are continuously learning, you're gaining those lessons, you're gaining the experience. Your experience, again, cannot be taken away from you.
Definitely.
Point number 4, Eugene.
A true differentiator, crafting what you love versus just working. You know what I mean? So, Sunil, do you want to explain a little bit more? Yeah.
Yeah, so when you're in a working environment and you have a certain project which you have to deliver on for your boss or for your manager or whatever it may be, when you have the experience behind what the project is about, you can craft it in such a way that it becomes a true differentiator for yourself between education and experience. You can express the education you've had, but when you actually go hands on, hands in, and you craft exactly what you want, which is what Eugene is doing as an entrepreneur, for example.
And I love what I do. And this is what Sunil said earlier. Yes, you can still be an employee and still love what you do. But that's the thing, you've got to love what you do. If you're doing something for someone else and you're working for someone else and you're loving what you're doing, sweet. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Point number 5, Sunil. What is point number
Okay.
5?
Point number 5 of the 5 reasons why experience matters is the power of network. Do you have a network that is peer based, or is it just your colleagues who are feeding into your experience, who are feeding into your education, who appreciates you for what you have learned in your life? The power of network.
Now, this is a very interesting one. I remember when I was like very much into the online courses, trying to learn more about networking and marketing and how to sell products and stuff. The power of network kept coming up. Okay, I remember watching webinars where they're like, you're gonna make money from your network, and I was like, your network? What? I didn't understand what they were saying because of the fact that I'm such an introvert. I was like, how am I going to network when I don't want to meet people? When there's a function and you walk in and you're like, who do I know? Okay, I know no one. I'm gonna go stand outside. Like that was me.
Yeah.
But how times have changed and how social platforms like TikTok have enabled people like myself, being an introvert, to be able to network. And since being able to network, not just making friends, I'm getting to know lots of people through this platform. So it's
Yes.
enabled me to form a network, and your network is what is going to help you grow, help you succeed in a lot of the things you do, because you might not be good at this, but your one person you've networked with, they're brilliant at this. So when you speak to them, you grow your community and your network grows, and each one works together for the greater good. Because at the end of the day, I believe it's the community that's going to help us succeed in life. Like
Yes.
working together instead of always being by yourself and pulling away from each other. So that is where the power of a network comes in. So I didn't understand this until maybe 2 or 3 years ago, but this is a very important step, okay? When it comes to education, when it comes to experience, you can have all the education in the world. But if you don't know how to sell something or you don't know who can help you sell something, it doesn't help. If you can have all the experience in the world, but if you don't know how to network with people and build something together with other people and help each other, it doesn't work. The power of
Yes,
network. This is go and research a little bit more of this, and you will be blown away how important this actually is.
yes. Now, when we speak about network, as Eugene said, your network is very powerful. And I must speak again about the colleagues, because when you have a powerful network of colleagues as well, you'll be surprised how you can grow. And we speak a lot about awareness and growth in our lives, and that is one way to do it for sure. So before we go to a conclusion, let's do a quick 5 reasons why experience matters recap. Point number 1, concept versus application.
Point number 2, getting to know thyself.
Point number 3, workplace reality versus real experience.
Point number 4, a true differentiator, crafting what you love versus just working.
And point number 5, the power of network. Eugene Wood and I will be back with Monday Motivation and the conclusion straight after this. Sunny Motive, written by Sunil Osman, uses and explains motivational quotes to encourage readers of all ages to take bold steps in life, love, and business. Order your copy now by emailing Lauren Moy Publishing on sales@laurenmoypublishing.com. Also available on takealot.com and amazon.com. Welcome back, everybody, to the conclusion of today's topic for Monday Motivation, which is experience versus education, or education versus experience. And in conclusion, I would just like to say that no matter what, no matter who tries what they want, they cannot take your experience away from you. You can have 10 million doctorates. If you've got experience and they strip those doctorates of you, you still have the experience.
100%. Okay, now I'm going to play the other side of that coin and say, yes, experience. It's key, but knowledge is potential power. Now, whether that is knowledge that they teach you in academia or knowledge you, after you've done your 3 years of studying and then you're like, well, I don't like any of that. Let me go and really do what I enjoy doing. And you go and gain that knowledge to furthermore your experience. Because then you're going to be doing something you love with the knowledge you've gained because it has taught you so much more. So futurelearn.com. I recommend this website to a lot of people because it will help you get knowledge in fields that you're interested in. And then you can use that to gain more experience for yourself.
Thank you, Eugene. It's been a great Monday Motivation, experience versus education, education versus experience. If you've missed any of our topics, you'd like to do a recap, don't forget to go check out Influence SA on IGTV and also YouTube. The topic for next Monday Motivation is going to be dealing with cheating. When we speak about cheating, we're speaking about in life, love, and business. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us for Monday Motivation. Love and light.
Enjoy the rest of your day, guys.